You're about to learn something most men never notice. The subtle way women prepare to leave a relationship. It starts with harmless-sounding questions, stuff you'd write off as small talk or pillow talk. But when she's planning an exit, those questions aren't casual. They're intel gathering. She's building an escape plan, and you don't even realize it. Before we get into the signs, please hit that like button, subscribe for more eye-opening insights, and drop a comment. Have you ever spotted these warning signs before it was too late? Question number 1. What would happen to our house money if we split up? When a woman asks about financial arrangements in a hypothetical breakup, she's doing reconnaissance. She's assessing what she would take, what she'd have to fight for, and her financial position post-split. This is not idle curiosity, but strategic planning. She's testing your knowledge of marital property laws, including asset division and your legal rights. Your understanding of these matters indicates how much of an advantage she might have if she's better informed. Second, she's gauging your emotional attachment to specific assets. When you refer to our house versus the house or show concern for certain investments, she's noting what matters most to you. This information is critical during actual divorce negotiations. Third, she's trying to understand your financial priorities in a potential separation. Would you fight for every dollar, or? She's trying to understand your preferred approach to a breakup, quick and clean, or vindictive and reasonable. Your answer will help her plan her strategy. Women often conduct extensive research on these matters before initiating such conversations. She may have already looked into divorce laws, spoken with divorced friends, or even consulted a lawyer. Her question aims to confirm if your understanding aligns with her research. If you're unaware of your rights, she'll know she has a considerable advantage. Be vigilant for red flags, such as a sudden interest in your financial affairs, documents, specific questions about retirement accounts or investments, curiosity about property ownership, or unexpected interest in asset division laws in your state. These are not random interests. They are research. Strategically, don't dismiss these questions or become defensive. Engage seriously and thoughtfully. Show that you've considered these issues and are not financially naive. Simply demonstrating knowledge of your rights and asset protection can alter her calculation of whether leaving would be advantageous. Question number 2. Do you ever think about what you'd do if you were single again? This is not idle curiosity. She's measuring your emotional dependence on the relationship. She wants to understand how much of your identity is tied to her and how difficult it would be for you to move on if she left. The strategic purpose is to gauge how much guilt she'll need to manage when she leaves. If you say you'd be lost without her, she knows leaving will be emotionally brutal for you. This also tells her you are unprepared for independence, potentially making her exit easier to execute because you won't anticipate it. She's also assessing if you'd fight for the relationship or accept the breakup. Overly dependent men may become desperate and clingy, while overly independent men might not fight hard enough. She seeks information about your reaction to being left. The psychology is twisted. She wants to know she matters, but also that she's not solely your happiness is your own responsibility. If losing her would devastate your life, the thought of her leaving feels like emotional murder. However, if you appear overly enthusiastic about being single, she might hasten her departure due to reduced guilt. She desires a specific answer, that you would be sad, but ultimately resilient. This implies having independent interests, goals, and a strong sense of self. Ironically, demonstrating your ability to survive without her lessens her guilt about her plans to leave. This presents a dilemma. Being too honest about your dependence signals danger, while being too casual gives her guilt-free permission to leave. The question is designed to extract useful information either way. Women often ask this because they've already started mentally living single lives. They've imagined what they'd do, where they'd go, and who they'd see. They're not asking about your hypothetical single life. They're testing if you'd interfere with theirs. The best response is to show you are a complete person who chooses to be in the relationship because it adds value to an already full life, rather than someone whose identity depends on being coupled. Question number 3. Have you ever thought about dating someone completely different from me? This sophisticated question serves multiple purposes. First, she's checking if you've thought about other women and testing your loyalty. Second, she's gathering intelligence on what might make you susceptible to outside temptation during her exit. Third, She's researching what type of woman might attract you after she's gone. This replacement strategy helps her predict your recovery time and your next choice, providing competitive intelligence for the post-relationship landscape. She's also testing your honesty. Lying about never thinking of other women makes you seem dishonest or naive. Being too enthusiastic about other types or specific women provides her with evidence of your wandering eye and justification for her own behavior. This question is insidious because she's often asking it because she's already been thinking about dating someone different from you. She's projecting her own thoughts onto you. If she's already emotionally or physically involved with someone else, this question helps her gauge if you're doing the same, which would reduce her guilt. The loyalty test component reveals your commitment. Are you still noticing other women as potential partners? Or are you focused on your current relationship? She seeks a response that balances honesty with reassurance. The ideal answer acknowledges noticing attractive people because denying it seems dishonest, but emphasizes no interest in pursuing others due to satisfaction with the current relationship. However, this is a trap. Even the right answer gives her valuable information. If you claim complete satisfaction, she knows you're unprepared for an ending. If you admit noticing others but claim no action, she learns your vulnerabilities. Sometimes this question arises because she's already identified someone different she wants to date. She's comparing you to that alternative to justify her choice. Acknowledge you're human and notice attractive people, but clearly state that noticing and wanting are different and you are satisfied with your relationship. Question number 4. Do you think we want the same things in life? This question is about manufacturing incompatibility, not discovering it. She's seeking ways to frame your differences as fundamental problems, making the relationship unsustainable. Every answer you give can become ammunition for the story she'll tell about why the relationship didn't work. If you mention different career desires, it's incompatibility. If you want the same things, she might accuse you of lacking ambition or copying her dreams. She's also testing your commitment to a shared future. If you seem wishy-washy about goals, she knows you won't fight to preserve the relationship when she pulls away. Men without strong personal direction are easier to leave. This situation arises because her own desires and goals have shifted, often due to encountering someone who inspires new dreams. She's essentially asking if you align with the aspirations of her new interest rather than expressing her genuine wants. This is a form of psychological manipulation designed to create emotional distance by highlighting differences and making the breakup appear unavoidable rather than a choice she made. She's seeking either an acknowledgement of differing desires, which would justify her departure, or a revelation that you lack strong convictions about your future, thus making you seem unsuitable. Real partner. Both serve her exit strategy. She might use this question to get you to discuss your dreams, then later claim you never shared them or that she didn't realize how different your visions were. She's creating a record of incompatibility for her departure. The future faking element is cruel. She might enthusiastically discuss shared dreams to get you invested, then later claim these conversations revealed fundamental differences. Your enthusiasm for shared planning becomes evidence that you were forcing compatibility. Question number 5. What do you think our biggest problems are? This question is a final diagnostic test, confirming if you recognize the problems she's already identified as deal breakers. She's gauging if you acknowledge her underlying dissatisfaction. If you mention minor issues or deny problems exist, it proves her belief that you don't understand her or the relationship's severity. This reinforces her justification for leaving. He just doesn't get it. Her goal isn't to solve problems, but to confirm your inability to see them. She's looking for alignment with her own unspoken grievances. If you list problems that are superficial or easily fixed, she sees it as proof you're disconnected from her true concerns. If you name a problem she views as minor, she may respond with condescension. Conversely, if you identify a core problem, her reaction will tell you a lot. She might express relief that you finally see it, indicating a last flicker of hope. Or she might become dismissive, confirming her decision to leave. This question can also be a final attempt to justify her departure to herself. If you don't name the issues she's fixated on, it solidifies her narrative that you're incompatible. This allows her to leave feeling less guilty. She might use this conversation to plant seeds of self-doubt in you, making you believe the breakup is your fault because you never understood. To respond strategically, avoid defensiveness. Acknowledge any significant issues you've both discussed, showing self-awareness and a willingness to work on things. Your answer isn't about fixing the relationship, but demonstrating your perception of its reality. If you address core problems, you're challenging her narrative that you're oblivious. If you're willing to work on things, you're disrupting her exit plan. Your strategic response can be a final attempt to show you're worth fighting for. Question number 6. What do you think is going to happen with us in the next 5 years? This question is about future fake king and assessing your investment in a future she may not intend to share. She's assessing your level of commitment and vulnerability. If you paint a detailed, optimistic picture, it allows her to gauge how much it will hurt you when she leaves. She's collecting data on your attachment. The future faking element is crucial. She might enthusiastically engage in discussions about your shared future, even when she has no intention of being. This provides her with further insight into your investment and enables her to mentally prepare for her departure. She is gauging your reaction. Are you excited? Do you include her in your plans? Do you bring up children or marriage? Your enthusiasm offers her a clear idea of what she's sacrificing and how heartbroken you'll be. This question also allows her to construct a narrative of incompatibility by emphasizing differences in your visions if your dreams don't align. Perfectly with hers or her new interests, she can use this as justification for leaving. Your detailed, committed answer can be twisted into evidence of your forcing a future she never wanted. To respond strategically, maintain a balanced perspective. Express your hope for a future with her, but don't overinvest in specifics that can be used against you. Show that your happiness and goals aren't entirely dependent on her presence, but that you choose her as a partner. This demonstrates independence while still expressing commitment, reducing her perceived guilt and complicating her exit strategy. These questions, when viewed together, form a pattern of careful information gathering. She's collecting data on your financial literacy, emotional dependence, loyalty, shared goals, and future vision. Her goal is to minimize her guilt, understand potential obstacles, and build a narrative to justify her departure. By recognizing these questions and responding strategically, you can disrupt her exit plan and avoid being blindsided. It's about protecting yourself and understanding the true dynamics of your relationship. Thanks for watching. If this gave you a new perspective, please like the video, subscribe for more relationship truths, and let me know in the comments. Have you ever seen someone plan their exit while acting normal? I'd love to hear your stories.